YouTube? This is another predictions video for UFC Fight Night, Saturday, July 23rd. Holm versus Shevchenko and Big Fox. And the reason I'm doing this video pretty early is because I'm going to be on vacation next week, so why not do it now? But yeah, you know, it's possible that people could fall out of a card and not fight, but yeah, let's see what happens. Let's get to the predictions. First up, Luis Henrique and Dmitry Smolyakov. I'm gonna go with the newcomer Smolyakov because you know, he's 8-0. Luis Henrique lost to Francis Ngannou, who's fighting later on the card. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I'm definitely gonna go with the newcomer Smolyakov. Next up, you got Jim Allers and Jason Knight. I'm gonna go with Jim Allers. He just looks like the faster fighter. I don't know. Yeah, he looks like a faster fighter to me. You know, Jason Knight, in his last fight, he hasn't fought since December. Last time he was on his back the whole time against Tetsuya Kawajiri, pretty much. So I'm going with Jim Allers. I think he can get it done. Then you got Hector Urbina versus George Sullivan. This is a kind of a tough fight, but I'm going to go with George Sullivan. You know, I just think he can get it done. I think he can maybe take Urbina down and control the fight. So I'm going to go with George Sullivan. Then you got Alex Oliveira versus James Moutosri. I'm going to go with Alex Oliveira. You know, he looked pretty good at 155, except the two losses he had to Donald Cerrone, which is at welterweight, and Gilbert Burns, which is at lightweight. But besides those two fights, he's looked pretty good. So I'm going to go with Alex Oliveira to get the job done. Then you got Tony Martin and Michel Prazeres. I'm going to go with Tony Martin. You know, I think in his last fight he looked pretty good. So I think he can get it done against the smaller Prazeres. And then you got Kamaru Usman and Alexander Yakovlev. I'm going to go with Kamaru Usman. I know that Yakovlev has been more comfortable in the octagon lately, but Usman's a pretty good wrestler. He's taken people down easily. He's won the fight. In it where it goes. So, you know, like he looked amazing on the show. You know, taking down and wrestling Mike Graves, which was awesome. You know, doing the same thing to Steve Carl and to Haider Hassan. You know, and doing the same thing to Leon Edwards. So I think that Usman gets it done against Yakovlev. Then you got Darren Elkins and Godofredo Pepe. I gotta go with Darren Elkins, you know, just the wrestling, you know, he's non-stop, pushing the pace, in your face kind of fighter. You know, and Joe Rogan has said that before, so I'm gonna go with Darren Elkins to get the job done. Then you got Frankie Saenz and Eddie Wineland. I'm gonna go with Frankie Saenz. You know, he's coming off a loss to Uriah Faber, but before then he looked pretty good. So, and Eddie Wineland really hasn't looked that good lately, so he hasn't been real active either. And then Felice Herrig and Kylan Curran. I'm gonna go with Kylan Curran. I think she gets the job done against Felice Herrig. You know, Felice Herrig, she hasn't fought in over a year. She hasn't fought since the Paige Van Zandt fight, so maybe some rust in there, and Curran been the more active fighter, so I'm going to go with Curran. Then you got Francis Ngannou versus Bohan Mahan Jovic. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I'm gonna go with Francis Ngannou. Pretty big looking guy. Won his first 2 UFC fights, so I'm gonna go with him to get the job done. Then you got Edson Barboza and Gilbert Melendez. I'm gonna go with Edson Barboza. He's just a way faster fighter. Gilbert Melendez is getting older and slow, and I think Edson Barboza gets the job done. In the main event, Holly Holm and Valentina Shevchenko. I'm going to go with Holly Holm. Coming off that loss to Miesha Tate, she was winning that fight, beating Ronda Rousey. I think Holly Holm gets back on track. So that's it for the UFC Fight Night Holm versus Shevchenko predictions. Not this Saturday, the following Saturday. I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm not going to have any more time to do the predictions. So now's the time to do it. And so that'll do it for me. And catch you guys later. Bye.